Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the start line of the Electrek American Solar Challenge 2024. We are here at the Adventure Science Center in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll get you a live look here in just 1 second. The teams are lining up for the start grid, and our first team will make their way up here in just a minute. This morning's start order is based on laps completed at the Formula Sun Grand Prix. So it's solely on completed laps. So in number 1 spot, we have a single occupant vehicle, ETS, who completed the most laps overall at Formula Sun. In the second place, we'll have App State, a multi-occupant vehicle, team number 828. In the third spot, we'll have Poly Montreal, another multi-occupant vehicle, number 55. In the fourth place, another multi-occupant vehicle, number 35, the University of Minnesota. Starting in the fifth spot, we'll have Illinois State University, number 17. In the sixth spot, we'll have a single occupant vehicle from the University of Florida, number 5. In the seventh spot, we'll have another one of our multi-occupant vehicles, number 7. In the seventh spot, Iowa State, they are number 9. In the eighth spot, we have number 26, University of British Columbia. Number 9 spot, we'll have the University of Illinois, car number 22. In the 10th spot, we'll have Texas A&M, car number 12. The 11th spot will be Purdue, car number 1. In the 12th spot, University of Michigan, car number 2. In the 13th spot will be our last multi-occupant vehicle, MIT, car number 4. And starting in 14th position will be Western Michigan University, car number 786. So the first solar car, ETS, will depart right at 9 a.m., and then the following cars will depart every 1 minute following that. So at 9:01 will be App State, all the way down to 9:13 for Western Michigan. So where are the solar cars headed? They start today on a 8-day journey out to Casper, Wyoming. That will be an official route distance of about 1,560 miles. Along the way, they will have the opportunity at 8 different locations to run a optional loop should they get to a checkpoint or stage stop early, and that is how teams will actually, go and win the event. The team that completes the most distance in the single occupant class will win the event. In the multi-occupant class, there's a scoring formula similar to Formula Sun Grand Prix, except there's an added factor of the practicality score. The practicality score was done yesterday by a panel of judges from some of our sponsors, including Bridgestone, Electrek, National Park Service. And so they judged the cars on like creature comforts and aesthetics and things like that. And that is the last added factor for the American Solar Challenge. So along those 8 loops, I believe, is over 200 miles of unique loop miles. Teams are, of course, welcome to run the loops multiple times. So we will see how many miles the winners can actually do. Some of our multi-occupant vehicles, I know their strategy is to run up the distance portion of the formula. So they will really be pushing to get to these stops quick and run as many loops as possible. Whereas some of the other competitors will be looking to minimize the energy used, and they'll be going a little bit slower and may not run as many loops. Our single occupant vehicles all have to be going for as many loops as possible because that is the only thing that matters for them. For stage 1 specifically is a 2-day stage starting today in Nashville and ending tomorrow in Edwardsville, Illinois, which is just northeast of St. Louis. The teams will have 1 stop in the middle, which is in Paducah, and that is open today from about noon to 4. So they will go the distance to Paducah today. If they get there early enough, there is a loop available. Just about 50 miles. It is the longest loop ever on an American Solar Challenge. So we will be looking to see how many teams actually complete that. The teams will have to push to get there early enough to give themselves enough time to do that. When teams arrive at a checkpoint, they must wait for 45 minutes before doing a loop, and then as a mandatory hold time, and then 15 minutes between loops. Following Paducah, teams will head west and head into the very southern tip of Illinois, and they will drive up along the Mississippi River all the way to the St. Louis area. So our event theme this year is See America by National Historic Trail. So in partnership with the National Park Service, all of the solar cars will be following 7 different National Historic Trails. On stage 1, they follow 2. One of them being here at the beginning. We are roughly following the route of the Trail of Tears National Historic Trail, which is a commemorative trail. The National Park Service doesn't just celebrate the good parts of history. They also, commemorate and help us remember the bad parts of our history, so that we don't forget about them. Following Paducah, the solar cars will switch to following the Ohio River to the point where it meets the Mississippi, which they'll follow all the way to St. Louis, and that is the Lewis and Clark Trail, Lewis and Clark National Historic Trail, which is obviously a water route. However, we are following the roads that follow the river as close as possible. So we're going to switch over to a live view. Our first team is staged here. Just give me 1 second to get that ready. All right, so here's a live look in at the start line here at the Adventure Science Center in Nashville, Tennessee. The Adventure Science Center is a hands-on, experiential science museum, primarily aimed for children and school groups. So yesterday at our display day here, we had a lot of summer camps and school groups come and visit the solar cars and get to see them up close. It really was a very busy display day. It was a very fun day for all of our teams to show off their cars. We want to say thank you to Bridgestone for sponsoring our display day here at the Adventure Science Center. Nashville is, of course, the American headquarters of Bridgestone. And so they've been a really great partner in making this happen here in Nashville for our start line. And you can see the flags off to the right side. Actually, a representative from Bridgestone will be waving the green flag for the start here. So before they get up to the start line here, the solar cars will go through a series of checks to make sure that some critical functionality is working. That includes a horn check, lights check, so make sure brake lights, hazard lights, turn signals are working, rear vision check, make sure their rear camera is working, as well as a comms check to make sure that the driver can communicate with the rest of the team. And lastly, they will be checked to make sure they have the right ballast in the car for their driver. Each driver is ballasted to a total weight of 80 kilograms, and that is to avoid competitive advantages by finding small drivers, or like having your drivers cut weight to an unhealthy level before the event. So all the drivers weigh 80 kilograms with their ballast included. You can see ETS just talking over with their driver. The way out of Nashville is one of the more urban areas. We've taken an American Solar Challenge to recently. From the Adventure Science Center, solar cars will actually head north, pretty much right through downtown Nashville, before getting out of Nashville to the north side. We are here at the Adventure Science Center on the south side of Nashville, and we are heading north for our first checkpoint. The ETS got themselves pole position here. Gives them a good chance to put some distance behind them and get to the first checkpoint in time to run loops. As I mentioned, the first checkpoint has quite a long loop, almost 50 miles, and so running it will take you at least an hour 15. So you need to get there in time to do that. I think you need to arrive at the latest by 2 p.m., 2:15 maybe, to do that. So I think I expect some of our top teams to get there, but if you get stuck behind a slow team here at the start because you didn't run very many laps at FSGP, you're going to have to execute some passes to get there on time. Coming out of this urban area for the first 10 miles, especially with some traffic this morning, it may be difficult to actually execute some of those passes. So we will be looking to see how the teams are able to do and get themselves into Paducah on time to run loops. We have our second team staging up. I can't quite see them, but App State is coming up here behind ETS. They've gone through their lights check and ballast check and horn check, I believe, or they will momentarily. You see the teams pushing their cars up here to the start line, preserving every ounce of energy they can inside their battery until the competition starts. No reason to drive up this hill here and waste that power before you start. Inside of our once solar cars are outside the timing area, so here before they start, and then at checkpoints once they cross the timing line and before they exit the checkpoint, teams are allowed to push their cars to reposition them, get them where they want them for charging, and so on. They only are required to drive when they're under their own power when they're on the clock. So this year it looks like all 14 of our teams made it to the start grid on time. Occasionally you have a team working on their car and need to get something done and they're late to the start grid and get bumped to the end. But everyone's here on time, so assuming they pass the lights, horn, vision, radio check, we should have the official start order happen here.
All right, guys, we got 3 minutes to the launch of the first car of the Electrek Solar Car, or American Solar 2024 Challenge.
All right, we are just under 3 minutes away from the start, and our first team through here, the car you're seeing there is number 92, Eclipse from ETS in Montreal. If you didn't see the FSGP results, our two winners from the MOV and the SOV class are our two teams from Montreal. So we'll see if they can sweep the American Solar Challenge as well. They had a good time at FSGP. ETS had a pretty good lead at the end, and Poly Montreal's score in the multi-Eichmann class was had a pretty good distance, a pretty good amount higher than anyone else's, so we'll see if they can do the same in the American Solar Challenge here.
Two minutes till the launch of number 92 ETS from Poly Montreal. Nope.
No.
Sorry, that's not right. The front Quebec.
So we actually have two green flags, it looks like. On the right side, behind our cameraman in his safety vest there, will be our Bridgestone representative. And on the left side here is Seth from Electrek. Electrek is obviously the title sponsor of the Electrek American Solar Challenge. We're really grateful for their support of our events. The first year they were title sponsor was last year's Formula Sun Grand Prix, and ahead of this year's event they have signed on to be the title sponsor for the next several years. So we're looking forward to many more Electrek Formula Sun Grand Prix and Electrek American Solar Challenges.
So 1 minute to go. So ETS is the first car that will be launched today. They are the first SOV, so they're in the single occupant vehicle class.
So we're under 1 minute now. ETS will be making their way to Paducah very shortly. If you're wondering how many laps they completed at the Formula Sun Grand Prix, they completed 215 laps, which is 677.25 miles over the 3 days. So we'll see. They will hopefully drive at least 1,560 miles to complete the base route here during the American Solar Challenge. But we'll see how far they can push it over this next 8 days.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1. Go!
And ETS is off. Our first team for the Electrek American Solar Challenge 2024. So they will head here off the start line, and they will make their way to our first stop in Paducah. Next up on the line will be App State. So solar cars are released every 1 minute, so App State will leave at 9:01 in just about 30 seconds here.
Next car launching is number 828 from Appalachian State University.
This is App State's two-seater car.
MOV, multiple occupant vehicle, taking part in this race. They will be launching at 9:01. One, go!
And here goes App State, second car off the starting grid. And they are leaving with 2 passengers in tow. So for every 1 mile they drive on the road, they will get credited with 2 person miles.
Next car up is number 55, Poly Montreal. They are the winners of the FSGP MOV class. They will be the 3rd car off today at 9:02.
Our 3rd car here is number 55 from Poly Montreal. They are winners of the multi-occupant class at the Formula Sun Grand Prix. They completed the 2nd most laps in their class, but he used less energy, so the score brings them out as the winner. So here they're getting in position. They have 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And off goes Poly Montreal, car number 55. Also with 2 passengers.
Next car up is number 35 from Minnesota.
And our next car will be another multi-occupant vehicle, car number 35 from the University of Minnesota.
They placed 3rd in the FSGP MOV class.
They are our reigning winners of the multi-occupant vehicle class, so they will be looking here to defend their title. They took this car last fall to the World Solar Challenge, where they placed 2nd place in the world. So we will see what they can do here at the American Solar Challenge 2024.
They will be launching in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Off goes 35, University of Minnesota. They went a little bit backwards first. Oh, they seem to be having some trouble. All right, there they go.
Have to put them forward. There we go.
Looks like Minnesota is also departing with 2 passengers. I expect that most of our multi-occupant vehicles will run most of the event with 2 passengers. They can decide to go down to 1 at any checkpoint or stage stop, but they are supposed to drive each segment with the same number of passengers. However, they can change them for loops, so there's some strategy in that they will make decisions about depending on weather and battery state of charge. Next up is number 17, car from Illinois State University.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
They got 3rd place in the single occupant class at FSGP.
Go!
And off goes the Illinois State car.
Best of luck, Illinois State.
Tiny little single occupant vehicle.
Next up is number 5.
Next up is another single occupant vehicle. We'll have number 5, the University of Florida. University of Florida won the Electrek Formula Sun Grand Prix 2023 with this car. They had a little bit of trouble this year, but they are, I think, in good shape for the American Solar Challenge. They used FSGP to get their car in shape. This is actually their first American Solar Challenge after a number of Formula Sun Grand Prix. They are also the winner of $10,000 at the Altair Challenge during the Formula Sun Grand Prix.
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And off goes the University of Florida.
Next up is number 9, Iowa State University.
Next up, we will have Team Prism, number 9, from Iowa State University. They are also in the multi-occupant class and appear to have 2 people in their car. So should MIT leave with 2 people, which I expect them to do, we will have all of our MOVs running with 2 people to start.
Just under 30 seconds. Make sure it's in forward. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Here goes Iowa State, number 9.
And they're probably live streaming from their car, looks like the passengers. Check Instagram.
Our next car here is number 26 from UBC. They're also in the single occupant class. They placed 6th in the Electrek Formula Sun Grand Prix with 94 laps.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And off goes UBC. Our 3rd Canadian team off the line here. Our next team to the line here is the number 22 car from the University of Illinois, the Illini Solar Car team. They are here this year with a new car.
30 seconds.
This is one of our 3-wheeled single occupant vehicles.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
And off goes the University of Illinois, car number 22. The next car will be number 12, Texas A&M. Need a little bit of help to get their car over the speed bump right before the start line.
This is Texas A&M.
They're one of our older cars here. They actually got this chassis donated as they started their team, which is a smart way to start a team. Get to work on an existing car and learn a bunch, and they're planning their own brand new car following this. But one of the regulations that changed recently was ground clearance, and this one does not have the new ground clearance. 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1, you're
off goes Texas A&M, car number 12 on the Electrek American Solar Challenge 2024. Next up, we have car number 1 from Purdue. This is the first time Purdue's been at the American Solar Challenge since 2003. So this is really a brand new experience for their team. I'm sure they maybe have some team members who weren't even born yet at that point.
From my home state, so go
This is another one of our 3-wheeled cars. This is the first year that 3-wheeled vehicles have been allowed in the single occupant class in about a decade. So some of the teams are starting to switch over.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
And off goes Purdue, car number 1.
Next up is number 2.
All right, next up we have car number 2 from the University of Michigan. Michigan is many-time champion of the American Solar Challenge. 2018 was the last time they were here, and they got a close second place. Prior to that, they had won for many years in a row. They are here with their car that they took to the World Solar Challenge last year with some modifications and improvements. And I think they are very much looking to reclaim their spot here at the top of the American Solar Challenge. They had some difficulties at Formula Sun Grand Prix, but we will see what they can do here on the road at the American Solar Challenge. 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go Michigan.
Here goes the number 2 University of Michigan car. All right, next up is our last MOV car. Last MOV car is number 4 from MIT.
MIT is the last of our MOV cars.
And they will be our second to last car off the line. So it would appear that every team made their starting slot and had no lights, horn, vision issues. I don't remember the last time that happened, so good job to the teams this year being prepared.
This is the MIT's first multiple.
So MIT is our 2-time reigning champion of the single occupant class, having won in 2022 and 2021. They have just switched to the MOV class this year, and they will be off here in 2 seconds. 1. There goes MIT. Oh, rolling a little bit backwards, the wrong way. There they go.
We purposely put the start on the
There goes MIT, also running with 2 passengers. So all of our MOV cars are driving with 2 passengers to start the competition. They do start with a full battery, so it makes sense to load it up and get those in now. We will see how they do, how they decide to do for the remaining part of the competition for all these teams. And so here is our last car, number 786, Western Michigan, with their brand new 3-wheel single occupant vehicle.
So this is the last car off today?
They'll be the last car to take the road for the Electrek American Solar Challenge. We will see if they are still in last when they get to Paducah. They have some ground to make up, but they have a fast-looking car, and I think they will be able to make up some ground. So here goes number 786, Western Michigan. There they go, over the starting grid, starting line. So congratulations, all 14 teams successfully left the start line and are on their way to Paducah, and following that today, they will head to Edwardsville tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for joining us here from the start line of the Electrek Formula Sun Grand Prix 2024 here at the Adventure Science Center in Nashville. We will catch you from our next stops in Paducah and Edwardsville.